The International Marathon Event of 2021 by Colton Dennis. Welcome everyone to the first annual JDW, the International Marathon. We have some great matches for you tonight, said announcer number 1. That is right, 5 matches for the first ever the International Marathon pay-per-view, where all 5 titles will be on the line. The JDW Ladies Championship, the JDW Tag Team titles, the JDW US Continent Championship, JDW Mixed Gender Tag Team titles, and of course our main event, the JDW Global Championship, said announcer number 2. That's right, and tonight will be the first title defense of each champion. Like right now, Raven will defend her title in an 8-woman ladder match, said announcer number 1. Never would have thought of putting women in a ladder match. But this is JDW, said announcer number 2. And here comes Raven now, said announcer number 1. Bell rings. This match is scheduled for 1 fall, and it's an 8-woman ladder match for the JDW Ladies Championship. Coming down the ramp, she is the JDW Ladies Champion, Raven, announcer number 3. Raven holds up the title. Here come the other competitors: Essence, Fortuna, Mantis, Gale, Jasmine, Drama and Virus appear inside ring. Bell dings. All 8 women are attacking each other as we get underway, said announcer number 2. And look as Gale sets up the ladder. She's gonna make a try for the title. And there's Mantis pulling Gale down, said announcer number 1. Gale goes to punch Mantis. Mantis ducks, then kicks Gale in the right side of her head. Gale groans, falls onto the mat, then rolls out of the ring. Mantis starts climbing up the ladder. Jasmine grabs Mantis's leg. Mantis tries punching Jasmine. Both Essence and Fortuna attack both Jasmine and Mantis, then bounce them on the ropes on opposite sides of the ring. Both Jasmine and Mantis wrap their arms together, spin, then jump at both Essence and Fortuna. Drama whips Virus. Virus reverses it, then whips Drama. Drama goes into the barricade, then groans. Virus, looking at Drama, drop kicks her into barricade, stands up, yells, then turns around. Raven appears on the ledge of the ring, jumps off, then does a crossbody onto Virus. Both Jasmine and Mantis throw both Essence and Fortuna through the middle ropes, look at each other, then smile. Gale appears on the top turnbuckle, jumps off, then does a double crossbody onto both Jasmine and Mantis. Raven pulls Gale through ropes, then bounces her head off the ledge of the ring. Gale groans, then knees Raven's stomach, then goes to throw her over the announce table. Raven reverses it, then throws Gale over the announce table. Man, these ladies don't care where they take the fight, do they? Asked announcer number 2. No, they don't, said announcer 1. Raven slides into the ring, sets up their ladder, sees Essence, Fortuna, Jasmine and Mantis standing outside the ring, moves the ladder closer to the ropes, then starts climbing. What is Raven doing? The title is in the middle of the ring, said announcer number 2. There's no telling what these women will do. Raven looks at Essence, Fortuna, Jasmine and Mantis, jumps off of the ladder, then lands onto all 4 of them. Drama slowly crawls into the ring, then stands up. Virus appears, jumps, then raises her knee. Drama gets kneed in her face, groans, falls onto the mat, then rolls out of the ring. Virus looks around, grabs the ladder, then drags it to the middle of the ring. Raven crawls into the ring, then goes to punch Virus. Virus ducks, runs, jumps onto the middle rope, then does a springboard back elbow onto Raven. Raven groans, then rolls away. Virus grabs the ladder, then starts climbing up it. Raven grabs Virus's leg. Virus tries shaking her leg free, then pushes Raven. Raven goes through the middle ropes, then lands onto the floor. Virus continues climbing up the ladder, gets to the top of it, then unhooks the title. Ring the bell, said referee number 1. Bell dings. Here's your winner and the new ladies champion. Virus, said announcer number 3. Oh, we have a new women's champion. Can you believe that? Asked announcer number 1. Well, in these types of matches, the champion has a hard time retaining. And Raven almost had it won, but decided to jump off the ladder instead, said announcer number 2. Well, congratulations to our new ladies champion, Virus. But ladies and gentlemen, up next, we have our tag titles being defended, said announcer number 1. Yes, the fabulous Freebirds will defend their titles inside the demonic cell against the team of American Wolfgang. And here comes the fabulous Freebirds, said announcer number 2. I still don't know how these two freaks are the tag team champions. They should have lost to the Colossal Connection last week, said announcer number 1. Well, they are the tag team champions. And let's see how they do against the team of American Wolfgang inside the demonic cell, said announcer number 2. And here come the men that will be our next champions. American Wolfgang, Quicksilver and the Thunder, said announcer number 1. Well, you have to admit how the fabulous Freebirds won the tag titles. It might not have been fair. They still became tag team champions, said announcer number 2. True, said announcer number 1. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall. Is a tag team demonic cell match. And is for the JDW Tag Team Championships. Introducing first, they are the challengers, the Thunder and Quicksilver, American Wolfgang. And their opponents, they are the JDW Tag Team Champions, Diablo and Jericho, the fabulous Freebirds, said announcer number 3. Bell dings. All four attack each other. Diablo gets bounced off ropes, then ducks. The Thunder turns around. Diablo dropkicks the Thunder. Quicksilver clotheslines Jericho in the corner, runs, bounces off ropes, jumps, then gives a flying elbow. Diablo and Quicksilver look at each other. Diablo starts dancing. Look at this freak. He's dancing inside the demonic cell, said announcer number 1. Quicksilver, staring at Diablo, then kicks him in his stomach. Diablo groans, then bends over a little bit. Quicksilver grabs Diablo's left arm, then bounces off the ropes. Diablo twists Quicksilver's arm, sets up for side suplex, picks him up, then does atomic drop. Quicksilver groans, then turns around. Diablo chops Quicksilver's chest. Quicksilver falls onto the mat, then groans. Both Diablo and Jericho bounce the Thunder off ropes, double dropkick him, then look at each other. Diablo nods his head. Both Diablo and Jericho start dancing. Well, the fabulous Freebirds have everything in control. And they love having fun, said announcer number 2. Both Diablo and Jericho continue dancing. Stop, then turn around. The Thunder double clothesline is both Diablo and Jericho. Yes, give it to them. Break them in half, said announcer number 1. Calm down. It's only a match, said announcer number 2. A match where these freaks will lose their tag titles, said announcer number 1. Diablo rolls out of the ring. The Thunder goes through the middle rope, grabs Diablo, picks him up, then throws him into the cell wall. Quicksilver sets up Jericho for a pumfandle slam, picks him up, slams him onto the mat, then covers him. 1, 2, said referee number 2. Jericho kicks out. What? That was 3. You can't count for anything. That was 3, said announcer number 1, taking off his headset, then walks towards the cell, then starts shaking it. Referee number 2 goes through the middle rope. Both announcer number 1 and referee number 2 yelling at each other. You need to get away from the cell, said referee number 1. The Thunder appears on the other side of the ring. Diablo slowly stands up. The Thunder runs at Diablo. Diablo moves. The Thunder goes through the cell wall. Quicksilver sets up Jericho for another pump-handle slam. Diablo pulls out a steel chair, slides into the ring, stands up, then swings it. The steel chair hits Quicksilver's back. Quicksilver lets go of Jericho, then groans. Diablo helps Jericho stand up. Quicksilver, kneeling, continues groaning, slowly stands up, then turns around. Both Diablo and Jericho double superkick Quicksilver. Jericho covers Quicksilver. Hey, over here, said Diablo. Referee number 1 looks, then slides into the ring. 1, 2, 3. Ring the bell, said referee number 1. Bell dings. Here's your winners and still your JDW Tag Team Champions, Diablo and Jericho, the Fabulous Freebirds, said announcer number 3. Announcer number 1 walks towards the announce table. Why'd you go up there? Asked announcer number 2. The referee can't count. Quicksilver had the win with the pump-handle slam. Well, see what you did. Because the Fabulous Freebirds are still our tag team champions, said announcer number 2. I can't believe these freaks survived the demonic cell, said announce number 1. Well, turning now, up next we'll have our new US Continental Championship match. Wicked defends his title, said announcer number 2. The lights flicker, then turn off. People screaming. The lights turn back on. Wicked appears in the ring, then raises the title. The Gorilla, Taboo, Hellfire, and the Maestro appear in the ring. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for 1 fall, and it is a fatal 5-way match for the US Continental Championship. Introducing the challengers: the Gorilla, Taboo, Hellfire, the Maestro, and the US Continental Champion, Wicked, said announcer number 3. Bell dings. All 5 attacking each other. Wicked kicking the Maestro. Taboo grabs Wicked's shoulder. Wicked turns around, blocks Taboo's arm, then punches him a few times. Taboo staggering backwards. Wicked does a throat thrust onto Taboo. Taboo falls onto the mat, then rolls out of the ring. The Maestro turns Wicked around. Wicked stares at the Maestro. The Maestro's eyes widen. Wicked does a throat thrust onto the Maestro. Hellfire clotheslines the Gorilla over the top rope, then turns around. Both Hellfire and Wicked are staring at each other. All 3 slide into the ring, then start attacking both Hellfire and Wicked. Hellfire punches the Gorilla, then goes to punch him again. The Gorilla duck, wraps his arms around Hellfire's waist, then does a German suplex onto him. Both Taboo and the Maestro are kicking Wicked. You want a few shots at him? Asked Taboo, holding Wicked's arms. The Maestro punches Wicked a few times. The Gorilla clotheslines Hellfire over the top rope, then looks at both Taboo and the Maestro. Hey, send him to me, said the Gorilla. Taboo picks up Wicked, then pushes him into the Gorilla. The Gorilla does a spinebuster onto Wicked. Wicked groans, then rolls out of the ring. The Maestro high-fives Taboo, then holds his hand to the Gorilla. The Gorilla looks at the Maestro, then pushes him into rope. The Maestro bounces off ropes. The Gorilla does a spine Asta onto the maestro. Taboo punches the gorilla. The gorilla looks at Taboo, then goes to punch him. Taboo ducks, runs, bounces off rope, then tries clotheslining the gorilla. The gorilla looks at Taboo. I think that was a bad move by Taboo, said announcer number 2. Do you think that a 200+ pound man that can bench more than his own weight is gonna be knocked down by Taboo? Asked announcer number 1. Taboo goes to run. The gorilla grabs Taboo hair, turns him around, then lifts him in his arms. Hellfire appears on the top turnbuckle. The gorilla turns around. Hellfire jumps off the top rope, then does a flying clothesline onto the gorilla. Taboo lands on top of the gorilla. 1, 2. Hellfire kicks Taboo, grabs him, then throws him through the middle ropes. 2, said referee number 2. The gorilla slowly stands up. Hellfire looks at the gorilla, then runs at him. Both Hellfire and the gorilla go over the top rope. The maestro slides into the ring, looks around, then cheers. I'm the only one standing. I'm the only one standing, said the maestro. The lights flicker, then go out. People screaming. The lights turn back on. Wicked appears behind the maestro. The maestro turns around, then looks at Wicked. Wicked spits a black mist into the maestro's eyes. The maestro groaning. Wicked grabs the maestro with both of his hands, lifts him up, then does a double-handed falling chokeslam, then covers him. 1, 2, said referee number 2. Taboo pulls onto Wicked's leg. Wicked looks at Taboo. Taboo runs around the ring. Hellfire grabs Taboo by his throat. Taboo gasps. Wicked approaches. Hellfire grabs Wicked by his throat. Wicked gasps. The gorilla appears behind Hellfire, then pushes Hellfire into Wicked. Hellfire bumps into Wicked. Wicked goes into the steel stairs. Hellfire looks at the gorilla. Both Hellfire and the gorilla start punching each other. The gorilla headbutts Hellfire. Hellfire walks towards the barricade. The gorilla runs at Hellfire. Both Hellfire and the gorilla go through the barricade. Taboo looks, then sees the maestro in the middle of the ring, climbs onto the ledge of it, goes up the turnbuckle, gets to the top, jumps off, does a frog splash onto him, then covers him. 1, 2, 3. Ring the bell, said referee number 3. Bell dings. Here's your winner and the new U.S. Continental Champion. Taboo, said announcer number 3. Taboo, cheering, grabs belt, then raises it. Well, congratulations to Taboo for becoming the new U.S. Continental Champion, said announcer number 2. Yeah, what a match that was. It could have gone anyway, said announcer number 1. Well, up next is our mixed gender tag team championship match, said announcer number 1. Yes, and could we see new mixed gender tag champions, asked announcer number 2. Yes, the Jackal and Phobia will defend the titles in a tables match, said announcer. Grandmaster and Venus appear, walking down the ramp. Both Phobia and the Jackal attack both Grandmaster and Venus from behind. Bell dings. Well, the match is underway. Since it's a table match, it could start anywhere, said announcer number 2. The Jackal walks Grandmaster towards the steel stairs, then goes to bounce his head off them. Grandmaster holds stairs, elbows the Jackal's stomach, grabs his head, then bounces it off the steel stairs. The Jackal groans. Phobia punching Venus, picks her up, then whips Venus, reverses it, then throws Phobia into the barricade. Phobia groaning. Grandmaster throws the Jackal into the ring, grabs a table, then slides that onto the ring too. The Jackal appears in the corner. Grandmaster slides into the ring, stands up then runs towards the jackal, jumps then does a corner. Forearm onto him. The jackal falls onto the mat. Stay on her, said Grandmaster. Venus continuously. Kicking phobia. Grandmaster grabs the table then sets it up. The jackal slowly stands up. Grandmaster goes to grab the jackal. The jackal pokes Grandmaster's eye. Grandmaster groans then walks towards the corner. The jackal runs then jumps at Grandmaster. Grandmaster moves. The jackal head hits the turnbuckle. He groans then turns around. Grandmaster dropkicks the jackal. The jackal goes through the middle ropes then lands onto the floor. Man, Grandmaster is taking it to the jackal. I've never seen the jackal run from a fight, said announcer number 2. Me either. We could have new mixed gender tag champions, said announcer number 1. Venus throws phobia into the ring then slides inside it. Grandmaster points to the table in the corner. Venus nods, grabs phobia then walks towards the table. The jackal grabs Grandmaster's leg. Grandmaster kicks the jackal. The jackal falls onto the floor. Grandmaster looks, bounces off ropes, runs then does a suicide dive onto the jackal. Venus sets up phobia for a powerbomb then tries lifting her up. Phobia shakes her legs, lands onto the mat feet, then lifts Venus. Venus flips onto the mat, groans then slowly stands up. Phobia clotheslines Venus a few times, kicks her in her stomach then does a DDT onto her. Grandmaster stands up, looks at phobia then starts walking. The jackal quickly stands up, runs then pushes Grandmaster into the ring post. Grandmaster groaning then holds his right arm. The jackal picks up Grandmaster, twists his right arm then runs. Grandmaster right arm goes into the ring post again. Grandmaster falls onto the floor, screams in pain then continues holding his right arm. Phobia looks then sees the jackal sliding into the ring. The jackal points at Venus. Phobia smiles then sets her up for a powerbomb. The jackal puts up his hand then points to himself. Phobia smiles. The jackal grabs Venus's hair. Don't tell me he's gonna put her through the table himself. Come on, she's a woman, said announcer number 2. We don't make the rules, said announcer number 1. The jackal sets Venus up for a powerbomb. Grandmaster attacks the jackal from behind. The jackal turns around. Grandmaster punches the jackal a few times then goes to punch him again. Phobia grabs Grandmaster's left arm. The jackal kicks Grandmaster's right arm. Grandmaster groans. Get her out of the ring, said the jackal. Phobia throws Venus through the middle ropes. Venus lands onto the floor. The jackal kicks Grandmaster's stomach. Grandmaster groans then bends over. The jackal sets Grandmaster up for a powerbomb, lifts him then throws him through the table. Ring the bell, said referee number 3. Bell dings. Here's your winners and still your mixed gender tag champions, Phobia and the jackal. Both Phobia and the jackal raise the titles. The jackal looks at Venus then at Phobia. Get her, said the jackal. Phobia rolls outside of the ring, grabs Venus then throws her into the ring. The jackal sets up another table. Venus looks up at the jackal. The jackal grabs Venus's hair, sets her up for a powerbomb, lifts her then throws her through the second table. Crowd booing. Both Phobia and the jackal raise the titles again. Well, that's how that match ended, said announcer number 1. That's not right, the match was already over. Then the jackal sends the poor women through a table. Tell me, how's that fair? asked announcer number 2. It ain't, but Phobia and the Jackal are still our mixed gender tag champions. Well folks, as we clear up the mess out here. Up next, our main event. Our first ever global champion. Hazard will defend his title next, said announcer number 1. Yes, Hazard will defend his title in a 4-man battle royal, said announcer number 2. Beldings. This match is scheduled for 1 fall. It is a fatal 4-way battle royal for the Global Championship. Clobber, Deluge, Hazard, and the Martyr walking down the ramp. Introducing the challengers. Clobber, Deluge, the Martyr, and the Global Champion, Hazard, said announcer number 3. Bell. Dings. All 4 attack each other. Hazard leaning against the ropes. Hazard punches the Martyr. Deluge punches Clobber a few times, bounces off rope, then runs at Clobber. Clobber lifts, then slams Deluge onto the mat. Deluge groaning, then gets picked up. Clobber lifts up Deluge onto his right shoulder, walks towards ropes, then throws Deluge over. Deluge hanging onto the top rope. Clobber looks. Deluge pulls himself up onto the ledge of the ring, stands up, then turns around. Clobber runs at Deluge, then boots him. Deluge falls off the ledge of the ring, lands onto the floor, then groans. The Martyr punching Hazard. Hazard swaying on the rope. Clobber grabs the Martyr. The Martyr does a back elbow onto Clobber, punches Hazard and Clobber, then continuously turns around and punches both of them. Clobber blocks, then punches the Martyr. The Martyr turns around. Hazard punches the Martyr. Both Clobber and Hazard continuously punching the Martyr. The Martyr leaning against ropes. Both Clobber and Hazard grab both sides of the Martyr, run, then throw him over the top rope. The Martyr lands onto the floor. Both Clobber and Hazard look, then start punching each other. Clobber bounces off rope. Hazard jumps, then does a crossbody onto Clobber. Clobber groaning. Hazard kicking Clobber, picks him up, then gives him a belly to belly. Clobber rolls towards the middle of the ring. Hazard stands up, waves his arms up and down, runs, bounces off rope, then does a senton bomb onto Clobber. Clobber groaning. Hazard smiling, stands up, then grabs Clobber. Clobber slowly stands up. Hazard throws Clobber over the top rope. Clobber lands onto the ledge of the ring, then stands up. Hazard runs towards Clobber. Clobber hits Hazard with his forearm. Hazard groans, then staggers away. Clobber goes to jump over the top rope. Hazard punches Clobber hard. Clobber lands onto the ledge. Hazard smiling, then slowly stands up. Crowd booing. Mr. Indestructible appears behind Hazard. Hazard looks at the crowd, then turns around. Mr. Indestructible continuously clotheslines Hazard. Hazard continuously groaning, then stands up in the corner. Mr. Indestructible runs, jumps, then does a corner body splash onto Hazard. Hazard falls onto his knees, then slowly stands up. Mr. Indestructible puts Hazard into full Nelson, lifts him up, then does a full Nelson slam onto him. Hazard groans. This ain't fair. Mr. Indestructible had his opportunity last week. And now this, said announcer number 2. Like they say, and quat. Life ain't fair, and quat, said announcer number 1. Hazard continues. Groaning. Crowd cheering. The Mountain appears walking down the ramp. The Mountain slides into the ring, stands up, then looks at Hazard. You want him here? Mr. Indestructible pushes Hazard into the Mountain. The Mountain grabs Hazard by his throat, lifts him, then chokeslams him. Hazard slowly crawls towards the ropes. Mr. Indestructible goes through the middle ropes, stands onto the ledge, then holds Hazard. Come on, said Mr. Indestructible. The mountain bounces off ropes then runs at Hazard. Hazard head butts Mr. Indestructible then quickly moves. The mountain hits Mr. Indestructible. Mr. Indestructible lands onto the floor. Hazard runs, bounces off ropes, picks up speed then clotheslines the mountain over top rope. The mountain lands onto the floor next to Mr. Indestructible. Come on you bastards. You want a piece of me. Come on, said Hazard. Clobber stands up behind Hazard, runs towards him, grabs the back of his head then throws him over the top rope. Hazard lands onto the floor. Bell dings. Here's your winner and the new global champion, Clobber, said announcer number 3. Clobber cheering, grabs title then raises it. Hazard holding his head. Well, another new champion has been crowned here at the International Marathon, said announcer number 1. You know, Hazard got screwed there, said announcer number 2. Well, you win some, you lose some. But thank you for another great night. We'll see you next week for some more wrestling. So long, said announcer number 1. Bye, said announcer number 2 waving. People booing. Clobber standing on ramp. Then raises the title. The end.